Techno Hollywood.
All right, welcome to Techno Hollywood episode
Number two.
German 2?
German 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we saw Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, of course.
What a great scene.
What a great scene, the best one. But you have to sort of know the difference between the German and European and American system to count, you know?
I wonder how they learned, like, what happened where he figured that out. Because he wrote the script, right? So
Yeah.
how did he come across that? German
I guess
accounting.
just hanging out in Germany, and I think like Tarantino really likes Berlin. Like you would hear these stories that he's in Berlin,
Really?
just hanging out, and then people see him at this restaurant. He goes to the nightclubs. Like he loves Berlin, and he even said it. And he also spends more time than needed there sometimes. You know, like so. I think that's why he caught up on a lot of Germanisms, I guess, in a way. Yeah.
I love that he hangs. Like, he just goes by the comedy store and he's just there and he's talking to all the comedians and
No bodyguard, nothing.
No bodyguard,
Yeah.
just, or maybe it's like a secret bodyguard
of
dressed
course,
up
yeah.
as a comedian.
Yeah.
But he's just there in
Ready
the
to kill you.
mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to the comedy and just for fun, like
Yeah, he'll just be there like 11 o'clock and like watching a show and then talking to comedians and everyone's
Wow.
gathered around.
That's good.
Yeah. I saw an interview with him where he said he wanted to be a stand-up originally. That was his first.
Okay, but he's kind of like when you see him in interviews, he's like almost too hectic for. I mean, this could be his act too, right? Like he's like very on something, you know, like he's over the top all the time.
He's a personality, so
Yeah,
that comes
translates,
across
yeah,
as
that's
a
important,
comedian.
yeah.
And his movies are all funny. Like they're
Yeah,
all
but dark
comedy.
funny,
They're
obviously.
all comedies.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you
In
can't
essence,
like
they are,
not
yeah.
laugh. Like,
I know, yeah, but it's also mixed with the most brutal scenes ever, obviously.
Right.
But yeah,
He even said at one point he's upset that some of his movies get put in the drama or categories.
Yeah.
Like they're comedies.
comedy and action in the widest
Yeah, like
sense. I
Pulp
guess, yeah.
Fiction is hilarious.
Yeah, of course. Like it's the twists and everything. Like it's like Louis C.K. stuff. Like it goes down a road and it's like you can't go further, and it just keeps on going further on the road. You know, like
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yeah.
that's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Like just the lines that DiCaprio delivers in that are just
I know, yeah.
like when he's so
Pure
mad about the
gold, yeah.
hippies. He's like, goddamn fucking hippies. He's so upset.
no, it's really
Oh
good.
man.
Yeah. So we're back to like I guess now it's after the Grammys at this point.
Yeah.
And the episode 1 was about like obviously me getting ready for because it's the first time for me and Joplin, the artist I work with, who's here with me, basically the first time to be in LA during the award season and the Grammy week, you know. So it started off when for us we on Wednesday we sort of someone told us, hey, there's a Spotify thing and it's called Women in Entertainment, pretty exclusive at the Spago restaurant, hotel, whatever, like in Beverly Hills. And then we sort of hustled our way in literally
Yeah.
because, I mean,
Because you're not a woman?
yeah, I'm not a woman, and then I'll tell you a story about that in a sec. Like I know how it feels now, and basically, so we came there, like, and we organized it somewhere because she's also she's part of the Equal ambassador for the Equal campaign for Germany. So we knew a few Spotify did, just come by, we'll get you in. It shouldn't be a problem. We came in, we walked in, and it's also like I feel like it says 6:30, and it was 6:30. Everyone was there already. Like it's not like
Oh, it's
no
not
bullshit.
like no showing up late.
No, it was different to me because I was like, who wants to be first? But everyone was there already at sharp.
Was it a
6:30.
sit down?
No, it wasn't. It was a big like ballroom, but it's like just standing, flying buffet, and when we came, it was half full already. But I would say like in the end, there were maybe 200 people in there, maybe. And it was super nice setting, fantastic food, and a lot of women, obviously. Like the only guys were basically some waiters, which all looked kind of happy because they all like, hey, like talking to the girls, and me and some 2 other dudes, I feel like, and I try to sort of make contact with them, like, hey, we're hanging out together.
Yeah.
But
Like,
it's
yeah, go women, and get out of here.
yeah. And then, but I was sort of was staying on the side, just watching everything, and of course I took some pictures. There was a picture wall, and she bumped into a lot of people that we know from Spotify immediately, and started chatting and working the room. And it was really interesting. They really take they've been on the forefront of pushing this whole equality come in. And Joplin, because she's female, she's the diverse artist. Of course, she's very happy to sort of been given a platform to sort of showcase her music there. They do playlist. They flew us in for the event to open the studios downstairs, so in downtown LA. So it's basically like nothing but good things to say for this campaign. And also there were some powerful women. I forgot their names now, like some Hollywood producers and just.
Well, I guess the awareness campaign's not working if you forgot their names.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like, look at all the powerful women, and you're like, I forgot.
Yeah, but that's true. I remember one. Dawn Ostroff or something. I think she ran or she runs.
I love or something. She's great.
Yeah. And then basically, and then there was a DJ which was cool, like Curion, like a Japanese American sort of DJ. She lives in San Francisco, I think, or Austin right now. And she was DJing there, and she's also sort of in our similar circle, so it was good. And she was playing cool underground electronic sort of music at the party. When we walked in, we were like, okay, there's a vibe here,
Right. So they're running the music, they're being celebrated.
Yeah. But the facts are still like, I think they said like it's 2-3% of women are only producers, like music producers. There's only 15% or 70% songwriters registered, or like with ASCAP, BMI or whatever. And also in the charts, if you look at the Billboard overall charts, it's also only like 20-25%. You would think like with like now Queen Bee and Beyonce and everyone getting all these Grammys, but it's, if you look at the sheer numbers, it's really underrepresented.
Still male. Yeah. I mean, you remember being in the studio. It's a bro. It's a male, like, and I always enjoyed when there was like a female engineer or someone that just changed the energy of the. It just brought that like bro-y kind of gross energy down.
Yeah, it's also like, I feel like I met a lot of female top line writers, but I thought like there's way more. But in essence, if you look at the numbers, there's not that many. And explaining top line meaning melody lyric writers, like,
so people who write the song over the beat.
Exactly. So a producer would normally do like an instrumental, a beat, and play in some instruments, and then a top liner would sing on top. Basically, that's I guess how the term comes from, on top of the instrumental, and create melodies and lyrics and everything. Yeah.
It is shocking when you told me those numbers, how low it is. Especially, I would have thought the artist would be closer to like 60-40.
Yeah, or like at least 50-50 almost.
Yeah.
But then if you look at the numbers, they're shocking.
Right, because also like I've been waiting for like the next like Kurt Cobain or like real like male musician that changes the culture. I guess for the young generation, it's Harry Styles or someone,
like
but
Post
like
Malone,
or Post Malone, or it's a lot of rap, but there's no like big like rock superstar since Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, that's true. Not that. I mean, Jack White, I guess, is in it, but it's not. He's not that global, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a big band, but I don't know if like. Because the White Stripes, yes, but Jack White. Song, I think because his talent went in so many different areas as a producer, as a, an advocate of analog gear, as an artist. I think it didn't get as focused, and also the culture is not as focused. Like Kurt probably caught the last of the
MTV
CDs, monoculture.
Yeah. Everyone's glued to the TV, basically. Yeah,
right.
To discover new music.
So maybe it's just not possible now. Maybe Harry Styles type pop artist that's like really in the media a lot is the peak of male artists now.
And I wouldn't call him a rocker, really, like the thing. But I guess
no, not a rocker. More,
but it's a pop star.
Pop star. He's the pop star.
Yeah. So and then after the Spotify, it's almost like you gotta, because then at some point, like you try to hustle yourself into events, and all of a sudden it sort of works, and then you realize it's like you have 3 events to attend to, and they're all at the same time.
Yeah,
like all between 6 and 9 or 6 to 10 p.m. or something.
Yeah. Then it sounds like you hit a lot of them because your voice is a little raspy.
I know,
a lot of talking over the beat.
It's still recovering from this whole mess.
Yeah.
So we went after that. We went to the Cobalt party event that was on top of the London hotels, and was nice.
With the pool and stuff.
With the pool up on a rooftop, very nice. And I don't know, for people who don't know Cobalt, like it's actually a music publisher.
Yeah, publisher admin.
Publisher admin, born out of England and Sweden, actually, originally, and they sort of revolutionized the whole publishing game. Meaning, they were the first ones to put the name. Okay, we're gonna do full transparency. We're not gonna take over your rights and own your rights forever, lifetime. So we're gonna basically do more an admin service, but really also offer creative services. And they started very small. I remember, like, I was the first guy signed as a songwriter to Cobalt Germany.
I remember meeting the Cobalt Germany guy with you in Berlin when you were
Matthias
signing.
Kind, shout out.
Yeah.
And he back then, Willard Aldrich, like the founder, was with us pitching on a little deck, like pitching his thing in a way.
Yeah.
And now it's become so big, like I believe like the biggest songwriters on this planet, like we're talking Max Martin and all these people, they're all, not all of them, but a lot of them are signed to Cobalt because they have a great deal, they collect all the good stuff, and they also offer creative service. They have a great creative team. Yeah. So Joplin is signed to Cobalt because there's been also talking about female empowerment. There's this one A&R, Swantje Weinert, shout out, in Berlin, Cobalt. She discovered Joplin early on when she was quite young, and sort of got interested into her, like, and sort of so that's why we were probably one of the youngest songwriters to sign on with the Cobalt system, because normally they take more established songwriters because you need to sort of have a catalog built. You need to have like cash flow already a little bit for a company like this to be worth it to administer, to administrate you. So anyways, we went to the Cobalt office party, then we met some people there. I think it's Chris Lakey, like he's the senior VP for like sync stuff. Sync is very important for us because sync means synchronization of audio to video, meaning like if someone places your music in an ad,
it's music when music hits TV and or film, or
anything to like a moving picture, I guess. Like that there needs to be a sync feed.
It's just another one of those esoteric terms to like sync. It's just like, okay, now you got to explain what that is. Everything's just like a legacy of things that didn't matter because you used to have to synchronize it to the picture. And now it's point and click, but it's just like all these terms like kind of create a huge barrier to entry to the music business. There's like a lot of learning. And it's still worthwhile to pick up like one of those like Donald Passman books or something about the music industry.
That's an update one, I think, but
he comes out with a new one every year. He's dead. I don't know. But so check out, you got to pick up the book to like just be like, all right, it's just to be able to have the conversations and not be completely lost. The funniest thing is that you get into the industry and you're like, you meet so many people who are doing well and you're like, oh, you don't actually still even understand what's happening.
I know people from record companies, I'm not going to name names, that still don't know the difference between like master rights and like copyright, like publishing in a way. It's still a mystery to them and they can't really explain it. Well, we can explain it later. But the thing is like, and that's a basic thing to understand, and a lot of people in the industry don't understand because they just work in their one little silo, and it's basically then the master recording side, then there's the publishing side, and then there's the sync side, and there's the
and then
live
everyone's
side.
eyes go like this.
I know, exactly.
We should almost do a separate video where we kind of have like a board,
break it down,
and we just, because it's actually very simple if you just kind of get a hold of the terms.
But exactly.
I have a lot of manager friends and people in the industry are like, can you just sit down with me and explain this to me?
And still, like after they've been around in the business very successfully too, and they still want to have it broken down.
They just want to have like, because also I feel like it gets explained different ways. And like there's like so the way that pi gets talked about like 100% or is it 200%? And you're I
know, like I think we should do an internal thing first between the two of us. How would you explain it? How would I explain it?
We just do that. We realize we're both mad. We're like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
And then we'll try to explain it to our tech host.
Tech ho army.
So and then what do we do? And then after Cobalt, we sort of, every event is like 30 minutes, 45 minutes saying hello to a few people, and then keep thinking, of course, running into a lot of people that sort of I've known. And then we went to the BMG party, which was at the Candela or something, like in West Hollywood, which is like a live venue, I feel. As we walked in, Logic was playing, like rapping, and it was nice because there was a full band, so it was kind of a vibe.
He was rapping to a full band?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not full band, but there was a drummer. There was some like
over the track kind of.
Over the track, but it felt more band live in a way, which was cool. I think he just recently signed on with BMG. So BMG is another company that's trying to sort of disrupt the system a little bit. Like Cobalt was a big disruptor because they changed music publishing. You just can like 15 years ago or something. BMG stepped up also, and BMG is like actually the only German company still sort of within the major music market. If you think about it, like Universal is, I believe, French, right?
Vivendi Universal,
yes,
but I think they divested it somehow.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know who but then Sony's Japanese. If you think Warner is, I guess, Warner is actually
English?
Russian. No.
Well, now it's Russian, but historically it's English.
No, it's American. Warner Music, it's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers is American, but Warner EMI, so yeah.
No, EMI is merged with Universal, EMI Capital.
EMI Capital. Oh my God! See, it's so confusing.
See, it's very complicated because all these big labels, there used to be way more. They all merged within labels now. But I feel, anyways, like Bertelsmann is a German company. Yeah. That's why I sort of have a closer relationship.
And they had stores like they owned BMG record stores.
Exactly, and then they also had like Bertelsmann book clubs and stuff. So it's a German company, and it was refounded again after. Long story short is they started also, I feel like 10 years ago, and started with publishing too. Now they're a full-fledged record company and publishing, but they started in music publishing, and they threw a big party. And so I met a bunch of Germans there from Berlin, actually. And also the head of BMG US is a German guy, Thomas Scherer, shout out. And he's actually the one guy that I was also signed as a songwriter to BMG. I am still signed to BMG.
You're stuck in the deal.
I'm stuck in it. I'm not stuck. But so basically he signed me also like 7-8 years ago again. Yeah. And so it was funny to bump into all these people, and they had like a real showcase. LP was playing there.
Nice.
LP Rock. Shout out, you have your LP stories, right? And a little bit.
Not really. I know LP's manager or old manager well, but I actually didn't. I actually know more of LP through you because I didn't know of her as an artist, and you had done a remix for her at one point.
Yeah, and also she was originally signed. I think a lot of people don't to Red One back then.
She was.
Yeah, I met LP in New York 10 years ago, something. Just when he got his new label and everything. And
Red One, Lady Gaga's producer.
Yeah, exactly. There
Moroccan.
I
think he does this. Yeah. I don't know. One.
No, he does this type of thing.
This one?
Yeah, okay. I don't know. and then so basically LP was performing. She signed to BMG, I think, for Europe or something. So that was interesting. Then we stood outside. We talked to some. At these events, you just talk to people, right? And people you get introduced And I always try to be nice and conversational. And then I talked to this couple. They were talking about like a house and a studio they got, like someone managed Laura Kennan's old Frank Zappa's house. I'm like, oh, cool. And then Lady Gaga used to live there. I'm like, okay, interesting. But I didn't know who she was. And I talked to her a little bit, but then I was distracted talking to Tom. And then she talked to Tom, and then she wanted to get some details and stuff and to connect. And then later on, of course, like when she let, like, you know who this was? I'm like, no. But I guess it's typical Hollywood. It was Mick Jagger's daughter, one of his daughters, Lizzie Jagger. And I was like, damn, should have taken down her.
Yeah, you're just blowing off celebrities. So like, get out of here. I'm Dragon Man. I'm Tan. I'm suntanning over here to get out of my face.
Yeah, I'm talking about suntanning. Remember last episode, we were talking about the stupid name discussion. So same thing, all these events, I introduce myself, I get introduced, different names. Hey, this is Tan, this is Tan, this is then I introduce myself like, hey, Tan, and then people still don't get it. There's always someone like, what Tom, the name?
I'm telling you, Tom.
No, and I can't
Tom and Jerry. Tom, Jerry.
Tom and Larry.
Tom and Larry. Oh, let's do it.
No, and then basically. Then after I said, no, it's tan, like suntan, I always get the, hey, that's cool. I always get the laugh, I like that. People remember it. And so it's going to be Chi-Thanh. Yeah. And I'm going to do the whole suntan thing. Like,
Tom and Larry is amazing. We need Tom and Larry merch. We need hashtag Tom and Larry.
So this is the quick update so far on the name issues. But
this is going to be going on forever. It's never going to go away. You're going to have you're going to like P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Tom Daddy, Tan Diddy.
Tan Diddy, yeah. Anyways, so it's suntan for now, tan for now, Chi-Thanh, yeah. So that was good. And then, that was a great start into the Grammy week. Next day, we went to It was also like a get together like at Bar Liz, which is on top of the Thompson. Another, like, I didn't know, like, I thought people said like, yeah, LA doesn't have nice rooftops or something. New York has better rooftop because there's more skyscrapers. But there's so many great rooftops I've been to now just in the last week. I was like, wow. So anyways, there's another one with a pool, 360 view. You see all over Hollywood, and you see Century City, you see downtown. So it was from a company called The Orchard, which is a digital distribution company. Meaning
part of Sony.
Yeah, out of Sony. Like, maybe you want to explain digital distribution.
If you want to get your music out, you need a distributor. They put it in Spotify, Apple, all the platforms, and then they take a small percentage. But you get to retain your master, and they basically distribute it digitally. Yeah. Sometimes they'll make physical, but like
that's sort of dying.
Mean, really, it's not. It's pretty dead. Yeah. Maybe some vinyl on the side if you have the audience. But let's just call it's digital distribution.
Yeah. And I think
they're one of the biggest.
Yeah, and it's also one of the oldest, I think, over 20 years when it just started. And it's definitely been a game changer for like maybe dropping some truth and knowledge here. Basically, it's a game changer for all the small indie labels, because now the playing field has been leveled through digital distribution. Because back then you needed a major label to get your music out there. You had shelf space on the actual shelves in a store
at BMG
at BMG or like Walmart
Virgin.
Or whatever, and basically now it's like there's you can distribute your money, and technically you can be heard by everyone, you know.
Yeah.
The other crazy number that I keep telling people that don't know, because everyone I talk to, like, everyone has a different opinion about Spotify, Apple Music, or streaming, right? And we're here to also put a perspective on from both sides. But of course, like, since everyone can sort of technically create music and get it out there, there's, I believe, like 100,000 songs roughly a day uploaded to the streaming platforms.
Right. I mean,
which is a crazy number if you think about it.
Right. Like, how do you get discovered? It's just like YouTube too. Like this, I don't even know the number, but it's a lot of video. It's a lot of content. We're just constantly using this device to make stuff and upload it. And we're like, let's find it. Micro audience. You just told me about an artist that like sold 3,000 tickets in like one day, and I never heard of them.
Of course.
It's all about just finding your audience.
Yeah, and finding the audience, building community, but also like, so you can.
We're finding our audience for this. This is episode 2. Exactly. Think back. The future has happened. You are someone in the future right now listening to episode 2 when we're on episode 2000 now.
Exactly.
In real life. Like, we're much older, but you don't know. You've gone back in time. This is a time machine for you to discover us. Because we're on.
Okay, relax. We're not time traveling yet, but we are in a way. But that's why we went to the Orchard Party, because it's a digital distributor. That's what we were talking about. We met. They're also investing quite a lot in electronic music for the US, which is kind of interesting for me, because it's always been electronic music. But I mean, if you think about it, house and techno music was invented in the States. People tend to forget, you know.
Yeah, like Felix the House Cat.
No, that's it was part of it. But I mean, basically just some kids from the south side of Chicago and Detroit invented house
Chicago?
music. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he's part of the movement. But
it's
forget the
that.
other. Yeah, it was a little bit, but at that same time, obviously. Yeah.
Or is that house? I don't know. This is where you come in. This is your expertise.
So basically, the Orchard are basically.
Alice DJ, is that something?
Sorry?
Alice DJ?
No, that's very different. And basically, then the Orchard, we went there, and then we met some more cool artists there. Like, we met this guy, I think he has the best artist name, Totally Extinct Enormous Dinosaurs.
That's his
the
artist name?
Yeah, and it's short form TEED, T-E-E-D, you know?
That's too much.
Yeah, but it's great. His name is Orlando.
How do you even fit that in a search query?
Yeah, but once you sort of remember it, you always will remember it forever.
Totally Extinct Dinosaur Man?
Totally Extinct Enormous Dinosaurs.
Yeah. You know, there was a lot of meetings where they're trying to get them to change that. Yeah.
But he's big, he's huge. Like,
of course, he's a big dinosaur.
Yeah, he's a big dinosaur, and he does great music, electronic music. And so we met him, and Joplin was talking to him a little bit, and then he invited her down the next day to the Bonobo Showcase in downtown LA. He's nominated for a Grammy. That's also really cool. Electronic music. All Brits sort of hanging. I think they live here in LA now. I'm not too sure. but it's pretty European dudes basically doing cool electronic stuff. And so that from the Orchard, then we were hanging out there, and we're like, okay, let's see if something more happens, you know. Because we have this one guy, I gotta drop his name because there's so many episodes that we'll sort of have his name around. Like I have a friend that I've known for 20 years now, and at this one, his name is Shiro Guzzi, and it's basically I call him Mr. LA. He's born and raised in LA. He's a mythical figure. He's a mythical
Time Lord
figure.
Like you, doesn't age.
Yeah, it's like,
but now he has hats.
Yeah, and he's like, he's such an interesting. I feel almost like he is my mentor in a way. Like I never really had a mentor, and then I think that's also one part of the European culture. It's not a lot of mentoring going on. I feel like that's almost like a uniquely US thing, where I feel like people that sort of.
So when you go to someone in Germany, like, hey, I'd love to, and they're like, get out of my face.
Yeah, but everyone's sort of scared that you're gonna get
take
the job position. Like, there's not a big mentorship. It's also driven. I talked to this with another German guy who moved to New York 30 years ago. Like, there's a reason. There's a thing called German Angst. You know, like, and German Angst means fear.
Fear of takeover.
Fear of everything, I guess. You know, like it's a fear of like. People taking your stuff and not be sure about it I mean, German Angst probably also, if you look on a bigger level, also sparked a lot of innovation because you're always fearing that someone's going to do something or take something away from it. That's why you got to stay innovative. You got to stay
ahead of the curve.
You got to be pushing.
Is it a culture of anxiety?
Yeah, for sure. I feel so, yeah. It's not a culture like it's not like the opposite. Like it's also like LA or California for them, and it's all laid back. It's open. People greet you on the streets. Hey, I like your outfit. This is cool. Like, hey, good meeting you. Like it could be like
this is cool. Is very German. Yeah, this is cool.
Superficial, but in a way, I prefer that much more because sometimes it is superficial. But even if it is, like, I don't care. Like it's a nice gesture.
It's superficial.
Yeah.
So you don't get. No one comes up to you in Germany and says, "Nice outfit."
Like. You never would. You would never even like walk on the street. No one would even greet you. Like even if you greet someone like hey, what's up? Like they would look at you weird. They'd be like, what is this crazy person doing?
Right.
No, like it's.
Is it because you stand out? You don't look typically German?
No. This is also a German experience, but I would say like if you look normal white German, that this happens.
Yeah.
too.
So if you're a normal white German, you go around Germany. Being super friendly, they get a little weird.
Yeah, they get weirded out, and it's also a funny thing. Like the more south you go, the more.
How do you
friendly
meet people and friends?
Yeah, it's very stiff. The whole culture, you know, it's not casual. It's not easy. It's not. The more funnily, the more south you go, the more, I guess, similar here, the more southern hospitality happens.
Okay.
Like people greet you a little bit more, and they're nicer. You know?
Right.
The manners are nicer.
Better food.
Berlin is known for being, like, worldwide, or especially in Germany, for being very ruthless, very hard, very, like, confrontational. And there's a thing called Berliner Schnauze, which means like a Berlin dirty mouth in a way. Like it's like basically no one cares, everyone's like aggressive and rude and rude. Really? Yeah. So that's the thing in Berlin. So it's a very different, obviously, between LA and Berlin. That's one of the key differences too. Like it's a yin and yang again.
Different worlds.
Yeah, different worlds. Berlin, LA, music, comedy, everything, you know.
It's so funny because all the Germans I met through you are all super friendly and nice.
Yeah, but they moved away from Germany.
So only the friendly ones leave?
Not the friendly ones, but the ones that sort of look for a different lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah. I did remember, like, in 2006, like, sometimes I would, we were working together, and I would leave and take the train somewhere, and I would, it felt very cold.
Yeah.
You don't, like, just people are walking by kind of cold. And you're just meeting people in stores. They're kind of cold. It's kind of cold.
And it is also...
And it actually is cold outside.
It's cold, like in the winter. It's
just cold all around.
Yeah, so that doesn't help. And then where were we? Okay, Orchard Party, Teat. It was, there was a, like...
This is just like typical, like, no listening artist names. Like, someone came in. It's like the artist name Her.
Yeah, okay, that's...
Like, it's just bad.
But Her
You can't even say it in a sentence. I like Her. Who? Her. Artist Her. You're just like, why? Stop this madness.
Yeah, but Teat
and
is
she's
cool.
great, by the way. I love her.
Yeah, I love
her
too.
We can't even say it. I love the artist Her. H.E.R. Her.
So Teet was cool. And then we were hanging out, and then Shiro, exactly, that was man. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm hanging out with Anderson Paak right now.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah, it's actually his real name. I checked it out.
Really?
It's Anderson Paak something. No, Anderson actually it's Brandon Paak Anderson.
Okay, so there's some real there.
Yeah.
You Joplin had a photo with him.
Yeah. So I come to that in a sec. So basically, he's hanging out with Anderson. He's like, okay, meet me at this Warner party around the corner from its athletic club or something in Hollywood. So I guess around 8, 9-ish, or maybe it was 10 already, I don't know. Like we sort of go in there, like he tells us to come to the door, he just gets us in, not a problem. It's so hard, like sometimes it's so hard to get a ticket, to get on a list, to get an RSVP.
But just like last time, you're the navigator.
Yeah. But
Chi Navigator Tan.
Yeah, but then you need guys like Shiro also that know the city inside out. He knows from the bouncer to the PR people, to the artists, to the managers, everyone, So he just walks straight through, and then he just got us in. Did a little picture by the photo wall, that's always, and he's also like, he's...
The step and repeat?
He always says like it's Uncle Shiro, to Joplin, because he likes the project, he knows the project from way back too.
Yeah, and he knows her probably.
Yeah, he knows her, like he met her in Germany also back then when she was still like a little younger and just working on her music and stuff. Anyway, so he got us in and we walk in, it's a full-on vibe, and who's DJing? It's
Jermaine Dupri?
No, it's actually Anderson Paak. And I didn't know this too. He has a DJ thing called DJ PeeWee. And what he does is like he has a wig on. Like he looks like, I guess, in a Silk Sonic thing. And he DJs vinyl only, which is great.
Yeah.
And he DJs like funk, soul, hip hop classics in a way. Like some current stuff, but mainly classics.
Like 80s classics or 90s classics?
I'd say...
Mid-90s?
80s, yeah. There was some 70s funk and late 70s funk, then 80s stuff, and then also like he's dropping some 90s stuff. And then what he would do, like while he's DJing, of course he's like such a great MC. He has a mic. He's like talking over it. He's getting people to move with funny like stories. I think there was a thing like the next day I saw like Anderson Paak's threatening people to play R. Kelly if they don't start dancing, and that's what he did. It's like, I'm gonna play R. Kelly, guys, and
because you can't not dance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, because it's like people were a little stiff, but then people got moving.
Funny. That's a good line.
That's a good line. There was someone,
part-time
I think
comedian.
TMZ or whatever. He's hilarious. Like, Anderson. We got to meet and hang out a little bit after, and then. So he's dropping the jams. Everyone's having fun. I look around the room. It's like, of course, a lot of executive, a lot of beautiful people, but also a lot of artists, And one that comes to mind that came in a little later that we also both know is Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, yeah, Wiz.
So he's with Warner, obviously. So he came in. Is he with Warner? I think so.
Atlantic, yeah.
Atlantic, okay. And and then he came in with his entourage. Smoking, of course,
right,
so
on brand,
on brand, exactly. And then here's a little side story with Wiz. I mean, we know, as you guys know, we know Benji Grinberg quite well,
and we've known Wiz for a long time. Like Wiz used to come to my little recording studio in New York, and I mastered his first mixtape, the Prince of the City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was the guy that brought the CD mixtape we're talking.
That's the same one, probably.
Yeah, that's 2006. The one, yeah. So he was just starting off, like there's no deals, no nothing, just getting mixtapes out before the real album in a way. Yeah. And I brought that mixtape back to Germany, and I have some big friends that run a big radio show, like sort of like a Z95. No.
That's not. No. You use the reference of Z95.
Sorry, what's the New York one?
Z95 of Vancouver, like a big radio station, like the pop station in Vancouver.
The one in New York
that only me, you, and Flip Out know about.
What's the one in New York called? The
Hot 95.
Hot 90.
Hot 93? Hot 95?
Hot 97. No.
Hot 97.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
All this stuff is dead old media.
No, it's not, but it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I brought it to Germany. They played it, and basically the first time Wiz was ever played in, I guess, in Europe or in Germany for sure, like on national radio was through me.
Is it a holiday? Wiz Day?
Yeah, it's Wiz Day now. And he sort of still remembers. I bumped into him a couple years ago. Like, he was actually recording Black and Yellow at the studio there. I visited Benji. Like, this is also 5, 6, 8 years ago.
I was there too.
Yeah, you were there too. When we did campfire, right?
Outside.
He was outside.
He was upstairs at the
Stargate, right?
Paramount Studios.
Paramount, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not Paramount, the film studio, but there's another Paramount recording studio that has nothing to do with the film studio.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was up there, and I think he was recording Black and Yellow.
He was, because we could hear it,
Yeah, we could, and it was with the Stargate guys.
Stargate produced it, I don't know if they were there, but...
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, Stargate.
I never went in the room because, me and Smoke, it was just like waft. It was just it was like movie... ice machine, like dry ice machine level smoke. Like, you think you're like, no, you're not. You don't have to like waft it away with your. You do. You're like,
you do. Yeah.
Who's that? Where am I? Oh,
and especially you being anti-smoke, like you must have like died. Anyways, yeah. So I saw him again, and he remembered me. Yeah, you're the German guy. Thank you. He even said thank you again for the mixtapes and stuff. So that was funny. And then. I
was supposed to work with Wiz in the studio not too long after that, and they were like, "Well, can you smoke?" And I used to work out of the room that Babyface used to have and Tracy Edmonds used to have there. I forgot what it was called, but they had a strict no smoking policy. I was like, "Oh, you could go outside." They're like, "Nope, it's not gonna happen."
It's not gonna happen. Yeah. And so then I think we were just vibing along with the party, having fun, met some more people, dancing and stuff, and then the party got really happening, and then who walks in, which was like, that was the moment for me at least. It's Nile Rodgers, Mr. Nile Rodgers, and walks in on the stage, actually
says hi. Sir, right? He's a sir?
I don't think he's
he's a sir.
No,
I think he's a sir.
No, because I think you need to be a sir, you need to be British, and he's not British.
I think he was knighted, no?
No, it could be, I don't know. Like, I feel like Sir Paul McCartney.
I'm looking it up.
Look it up. So basically, he walks in.
I'm on airplane mode.
And basically says hi to Anderson Paak. And then Anderson was like, okay, let's do a Soul Train thing. And then he divides the crowd. All of a sudden, there's like a tunnel, a line. Then he opens up the Soul Train, basically. And then Nile Rodgers dances along. And then everyone follows. It's a whole vibe, And then after he walks past us, and Shiro, of course, knows Nile Rodgers, and he's like, "Hey, Nile, here, I want to introduce you to Joplin." And then I have the moment on video. It's amazing. She walks up, they talk for a hot second, and then he gets me in because he knows I'm a big fan, and I come there and I shake his hand, say hi, like I'm almost shaking this. I had to drop the camera because it's not on video, but I should have I have to learn how to film myself and do these things.
Yeah, you need a videographer.
I need a videographer. That's the next level, like a social media person that goes with us all over. And then I shook his hand, just said like how much I admire him. He's like my hero. And I haven't washed my hands since. No, I washed it. But I mean, it's like, this is for me something really big, because when I was like a teenager practicing guitar, he's still one of my favorite guitar players, because it's like, he made the art of rhythm guitar, of funk, of staying in the pocket, of really grooving, of making this thing happen. Like, he's the master at
What's
that,
his production that he's known the most for?
I think like people like I've read his biography, like, just a few names, obviously. Like, I think he sold like a couple 100 million records, but he did like the Madonna stuff, like the Into the Groove, Virgin. I think like Virgin, that album. He did David Bowie, Let's Dance. That's how diverse he did. Wow. Obviously, he did Chic, all the Chic stuff. He did Sister Sledge. He wrote We Are Family. Then Duran Duran. The list goes on. And the funny thing is, he also did Soul Decision. Like with our
not Faded.
Yeah, he did. I think he did Faded.
Really?
Yeah, because they were signed to a US deal, and then the guys went to New York and they worked with Nile Rodgers.
Faded with Craig Smart and doing all the backgrounds?
I think so. We'll have to look at it. But he basically, the first US released album of our Canadian buddies, Trevor Guthrie, shout out, was basically produced by Nile Rodgers.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I think. And they still know each other. Like, I think Trevor, I saw him recently. He's like, he walked into a room, Nile Rodgers there, and Nile Rodgers stood up. Hey, Trevor, what's up? So they have a vibe. And Nile Rodgers is just like a living legend. Like
Soul Decision. They like penetrated like some sort, like, even though it felt like a a small moment in time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Destiny's Child in a stadium in Vancouver. And they were like, "We love you, Soul Decision." They like announced it. They're like, "We love you, Soul Decision."
Blah, so I played.
So they really like integrated.
Yeah, they had a moment for sure. Like
that song, and like Americans know that song.
Yeah, Americans know that. It's Faded.
Yeah.
And I played guitars on that song
with Thrust.
Yeah,
and I did a remix. I think I worked on some sort of remix of it too. Like somehow that song penetrated all of the lives of anyone who was in music at the time.
I mean, they made it big out of Vancouver. Like not a lot of people did it. They had a.
I thought Troy had something to do with it too.
Yeah, no, from the album before, I think everyone's working somehow with Trevor at some point.
And Thrust was on it, like.
And then basically, but then he's I just saw him recently. There's another story, like he just kept doing it, and he had a big global hit. I don't know if you know, with the dance hit with Armin van Buuren. Trevor,
Armin van Buuren. This is a while ago.
No, not that long. Like I'm talking 3-4 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a global dance hit, like more European, but it was also I think on US radio. Who knows? But anyways, now Rogers, back to him. Like, I can also recommend his biography. It's basically, I mean, he was born and raised. It's such a good. I mean, talk about like overcoming obstacles. Like his parents are functioning junkies. He basically grew up by himself in a way. Like then he got himself obviously into heavy drugs and drug abuse and all that stuff. Then he was in the New York Legend. Like with Cheek and all these productions. Then he had like, I think he recently beat cancer. It's like, and so he's had it all in a way, like the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And just for him to be such a positive spirit, I mean, he got the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammys, like I think this year. That's why he was running around the parties. That's why he was there. He was here. I believe he lives in Miami or something. I don't know. So it was amazing, and that was the highlight for me at least. Yeah. And then, but the story continues. So after the party only went on till midnight, till 12.
That's late for LA.
And people were already leaving around 10, 11. It's funny, like a star-studded room. Everyone's there.
Sleep. We've all learned how important sleep is. I got my Whoop band monitoring my sleep. It's changed my life. Don't keep me up past 10:30.
Yeah, and it was a Thursday. I guess so everyone's trying to save energy for the real Grammys on Sunday and stuff. So what did we do after? After we just like Shiro's like, stay with me, and he's also just keeps introducing. And another one, I got to meet two of the guys from Far East Movement. That was big for me too. Like,
is that
that's
like
the Asian Korean, like a G6, like Asian American first group to really have a big hit, like I would say global hit, that sort of had like Asian Americans rapping and having fresh new music and being like part of a scene. And I think they were the first ones, but they were really the trailblazers. And
it was kind of like Black Eyed Peas a little bit, and they kind of made it even more.
Yeah, it was more straight, a little bit way cooler and more different. And I feel like the music also, they incorporated electronic elements already in the production. So, and this was, I don't know,
this is 10, like 15.
15 years.
10 years ago?
I think it's probably longer, like 15 years. We can look it up.
Yeah,
probably 2006, 7-ish, I feel. Like.
Maybe. Yeah. I was already living here, though, so it has to be after. I don't know. But it was a while ago.
They're still very involved from what I can tell, like in the whole movement of. And then after them, like people.
They're a Far East movement.
Yeah, and then it's like basically it's like 88 Rising became the next level of Asian Americans and also just Asians in general, like coming to the States and with Rich Brian and stuff, like really getting a foothold. And then, of course, now with the whole K-pop, that's more on the pop side, but I'm talking about the urban side and also the club music side. There were not a lot of Asians in the global music scene.
No, it was them and you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, like, it was for me also a great moment to have contact with them. We're still in contact right now, just to sort of these are people I looked up to, and that are sort of were trailblazers, and were like, I wish I could connect with them and sort of share my experience being the only Asian or one of the only Asians in the German music industry, like, and which is even harder because there's literally no Asians.
You might be are you the only Asian in the?
No, there's another guy like from my generation.
There's one other guy. Ken Sushi.
Yeah, Ken Sushi. Yeah,
that's just you two. That's it.
It's Ken Sushi Agahara. Shout out to him. He's Danish Japanese. Yeah, he's now over at TikTok and stuff, doing his thing as a manager. And that's
a good name, Ken Sushi.
Yeah, but it's also like like right now it's so politically incorrect because back then people like associated him because he's half Japanese. And Sushi was thinking that's how he got his nickname Sushi, like white Germans saying, yeah, you're Sushi. That's really like, if you think that could not work today, I guess.
Yeah, is he grandfathered in or is it problematic?
No. He calls himself Ken Sushi still, but
it's catchy.
It is catchy. It's like
when Ken he says, "Hey, Ken Sushi," you're not like what? Like Suntan?
Yeah, like Suntan. Here we go again. No, but anyway, so what was it? Oh, yeah, so he's the only Asian. So the Far East movement was great. I'm trying to continue the story here. Like it's kind of like I'm just okay. After that, so the party's over at 12. We're like, hey, after party, we're gonna go to this next place, and we're like, okay.
This is why Germans almost took over the world because you're staying on track. I'm all over the place. I'm introducing new topics. You're like, we're marching.
We're marching. We've got to go through this Grammy story. I even made some notes here.
You got notes. You got a plan, a battle plan.
Yeah. So then we jump into a car. We drive around to West Hollywood, and we're I guess 5-minute ride, 10 minutes. Car opens, there's two guys with twins with cool hats, get introduced to them, Mark and Johnny, they play a role later. A door opens, we walk in with the whole entourage. That's how you enter these clubs the best way. There's no questions because you enter with the artist, with the talent, with the star, with Anderson Paak and his whole posse. Also, like back to his DJ set, I thought like there's a funny thing is a lesson also to learn, like, of course, it's great for him to DJ now, and he's DJing all these parties. Like, he DJed the Amazon party, the Warner party. Like,
he's getting a nice fee for that, too.
I'm sure he's getting really big fees.
It's the best deal for the party throwers, too, because we have Anderson Paak DJing. It's such a flex, too.
It's a flex, and then he comes and he's not only a DJ, he's an artist, but he also knows how to DJ, actually. Yeah. So he blends stuff, he scratches and stuff. There's another guy, Eddie, that he works with on stage, so that they run it together. A great guy. And then what they also do, like he obviously MCs, so he gets the crowd entertained. He's like, all the white people start dancing and stuff, like he cracks jokes while DJing. And then to top it off, he has from his band, Maurice Brown, one of the greatest trumpet players right now, I would say. Like he comes up on stage and they do he jams on top of his things.
On top of the DJing?
On top of the DJ, like with live trumpet, like, and it sounds so cool. And he starts off like he walks in the crowd. Everyone's like, "Hey, where's this trumpet coming?" They have a full routine. Like
he's just he's just blowing out people's eardrums in the.
No, it's obviously mic'd and stuff. Then he walks up on stage, and then they play like bootlegs of their own records. Like the best, I have it on video. Like I showed you to like they play like one of Anderson Paak's hits, like "Come Down," is one of his smash hits, but they put it over like a Busta Rhymes. My eyes could see.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like boom, 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 and then it's like the trumpet
one of the
over
best
it.
Beats of all time.
One of the best groovies, and then he's rapping his own records. So they're making live bootlegs, and then remixes and bootlegs.
Bootlegs like something you get on the street.
Yeah, I guess not bootlegs. That's where mashups. That's what I was saying. They're making live mashups.
Okay, basically.
Sorry, not bootlegs, mashups. And then
just a guy in the corner recording it, pressing it on CDs, and be like, "How much? $5? Hey man, come here. You like rap music?"
So and then next thing is he even jumps on the drums. Then so there's a drum set.
Anderson Paak.
Yeah. There's a drum set next to the DJ booth, all mic'd up and stuff. So he goes to drum, and then he plays.
I hope he's getting like 30 grand for this fee.
Nah, he's getting much. Can't tell you the number, but
more than that.
Yeah, he's getting more than that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like.
Do you know the number?
I know, but I can't disclose. But it's like it's pretty high up there, and it also depends who's paying.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm just saying that's what blew my mind. Is like that's the sort of the best way to take the art of DJing, combine it with live entertainment, live music, and also like have these musicians to sort of get it to the next level I guess for him also not to be bored to play these dance classics all the time and elevate the whole thing. And then he's also like, as DJ PeeWee, he can act a fool. Like he has these wigs on, he changes outfits, he talks shit.
He's having fun.
He's having fun. He's actually obviously like it's not Anderson Paak, it's PeeWee said this and PeeWee did this and this. Like so it's for him like his alter ego, which is a great idea.
Does it say Does it go so far as that they don't advertise it as Anderson Paak?
Yeah. He has
DJ
own.
PeeWee?
Yeah, it has a. He has
no,
a
but
own
like
Instagram
the forward facing, like when you're like, hey, I'm going to the Amazon party.
Yeah, no, yeah.
DJ PeeWee's
DJ PeeWee is playing.
They don't say Anderson Paak?
No, it says it's DJ PeeWee.
But everyone's like,
everyone sort of knows. Yeah, don't you? So I didn't know this before. Like I got to the party. Like she explained the whole thing to us.
I did look at the picture. I'm like, wow, he's dressed a little crazy.
Yeah, that's PeeWee.
That's his alter ego.
Yeah, that's his alter ego. And then we went to this other place in Hollywood. I think it was called Fleur, the Fleur Room or something. Like Fleur, the French name for flower.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, I know. You're Moroccan French, whatever. And then we hang out there, and then we get introduced to more people. And there's this cool looking rock dude. Joplin talks to him a little bit. I talk to him, say hi. Turns out, like someone tells me, like this is for me. It's the lead singer, Matt Bellamy from Muse, from the British band Muse. They sold 30 million records. They're a huge live band, obviously.
Yeah, Muse.
And then, but he's the nicest guy talking about everyday sort of stuff. Turns out his wife likes electronic music, and they want to hang out and like it's such a vibe. Then another guy shows up that I see a couple days later is like, hey, I'm Dan. I'm like, yeah, cool, yeah, also a musician.
I'm 10.
I'm like, yeah, I'm 10. Yeah, you're Dan. Turns out this is Dan Auerbach. Auerbach, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Dan Auerbach.
Yeah, Auerbach, yeah. So from the Black Keys, the singer, writer. He's also a top writer, producer. He did a lot of Lana Del Rey stuff. He was actually nominated for a Grammy this year. As
every year.
Producer. Every year, I guess, yeah. Him and Jack Antonoff, I feel like they're the two guys that just clean up. And so he's super nice guy. Like I feel like also like there's a saying like the sort of the higher up, the more known you are, the nicer you tend to be.
The real divas are the ones right below the people who are really killing it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's from personal experience. I agree to that. So that was a whole night, and then I think it was already 2 a.m., which is super late for a weekday in LA. And then everyone's like, there's another party. Let's go there. And then we jump into another car. We drive another 10 minutes. And then we end up at a place I found out later called Off Sunset. It's right by...
It's off Sunset.
It's off Sunset, Crescent Heights and Sunset, I think. Yeah.
Oh, my old hood.
It's the Laugh Factory. It's behind the Laugh Factory.
Really?
Yeah.
Behind it?
Yeah.
Is it a house?
No, it's like a club. It's like you walk downstairs.
Not behind it, like next to it.
I think it's in the alley behind it, from what I remember. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's a club. There's a Google thing. It's called Off Sunset. Yeah. So we walk in there. Of course, like, I think at this point it's probably 3 or something. Like we walk in there, about to grab or drink something. Music stops, lights on. Like everyone gets kicked out. Like it's like. Also at the Fleur, I think like it's really a thing with the 2 a.m. thing, and also no liquor anymore, and then the lights turn on.
They don't want to get in trouble. And
then they also I just learned all this. Like some places have a license till 2, some have a license till 4,
right?
But only on the weekends, whatever. Like
there's always, especially in West Hollywood, there's always different laws.
Yeah. But so there was sort of a party killer. Like nothing really happened, but then I bumped into Bryce Vine.
Bryce Vine.
Yeah, so that's
I'm a big Bryce Vine advocate. I got him the deal at Rostrum.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he was. Was he with Rostrum?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't know this. So I worked with him like also 4 or 5 years ago. He came by with a guitar in the studio. He was exploring different sounds and vibes, and he was just about to be signed to Warner. Sire, whatever and so I bumped into him again. I said, hey, we still need to finish our song. Everyone's in a good mood. So that was the whole night. Then it was like, I think 3 and we're like, okay, this is it for Thursday. Yeah. And we didn't expect none of this. We just thought we went to this orchard party and then go home type of thing. So it was definitely a night to remember. And then by the time I was in bed, it was like 4 or 5 a.m. It's crazy. Like, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is...
Right.
This is...
You're breaking records in LA.
Yeah, but it's also so like... I was still buzzing because it's so inspiring to put like sort of a rap on it. Like it's... to meet... For me, of course, it's nice to meet all these known stars and music, but the things like Nile Rodgers hangs out. And then also to see a person like Anderson Paak is such a talented musician, sort of crossover really, like from being more like a hip backpack, hip hop, jazz guy almost, so to say, to now have this worldwide success with Bruno Mars.
It's interesting because now he's about as mainstream as you can get.
Yeah.
Right? Like just in the new paradigm of what it means to be a known name. Like he's pretty much, it's hard to get much more, unless you're going like Madonna, Britney Spears,
like Bruno Mars and
Bruno
stuff.
Mars. But there's like he's like right up there.
Yeah.
And probably exactly where you would want to be. Like it's big, but still do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's cool. And of course, if you think about it, it's again Dr. Dre behind all this, after Dre's getting checks from Anderson Paak.
I always forget that he's with Dre.
And
but like just
Eminem
on
with
the label, right?
Just on the label on Aftermath. I think Dre probably produced a record here too. I don't even know that. But
it's also the power of Interscope. Like Interscope is just still...
No, it's Dre through Atlantic.
Is it really?
Aftermath through... That's why he was at the Warner Party. I didn't know this too. Like it's Dre, Aftermath, but it's a deal with Atlantic. I was like, okay. That's
weird. That is weird.
Yeah. So I guess Aftermath is
also... the power of Atlantic.
I guess. So I guess the power of Aftermath being able to...
The power of all urban... I mean, Atlantic's a huge urban label, so is...
Interscope, obviously.
Interscope, so is... I mean, that's it.
And then also Dr. Dre, I think, in case you missed it, like The Chronic, the album of him, it's 30 years old. Just to now basically make you feel old. Like
it feels 30 years old.
Yeah, it's 30 years.
Because it was old. It was old. I just had missed it. Like I was a little. It was before me.
I got it. Like I remember buying it as an import in Germany in school, in high school, and it was amazing. Yeah. I still have fond memories of that.
Kind of like 2001 was more.
Okay, that was more your thing. Yeah. So and then basically, he was honored for 30 years of The Chronic. I think they put it out on Interscope again somehow with the rights. All got trans. There's a big mess obviously with Death Row and Suge Knight and stuff.
And probably samples back then were mediocrely cleared.
I guess I don't like that. I'm sure there's been some issues.
Yeah.
But now it's all back, and it's like a big revival of The Chronic. Like and he got some award, Lifetime Achievement Award, Iconic Award too. Like all these greats now. And you feel like you've been they've been part of your life, and you've so basically it feels like, okay, this is, and they're all in the city now getting their awards and their recognition and stuff, and then also the next generation like Anderson Paak and like it's all there, like
it feels like people fight less on these like getting the content back out there now, because just the way it works with streaming, it's like if it's not there capturing, it's not making money.
For no one.
For nobody. So I think people are starting. I see it in sample clearances and stuff. People are starting to be a little bit more like, cool, let's get it out there. As opposed to being like, no.
And it's also
I'm gonna wait because there's more money for me if I wait, and that's just not it.
And it's also more transparent. Like you can look up the numbers, you can do some basic math. 1 million streams gives you $3,000-$4,000 as a rights owner. Like on any stream.
Right. It's not like this is a 1 week. First week sales of a reissue, and then it just goes down over time. And
then it's like no one's accounting you.
Catalog is just like this.
And then CDs, like try to getting a statement if you sold some CDs somewhere in Eastern Europe, like as a rapper or as a funk band, like there's all these processes to clear to get mechanics. It's very complicated, but now it's all transparent, it's all there, it's all digital, So I feel that also makes things tougher and easier at the same time.
If you come up as your own artist, and you're used to uploading to YouTube and doing things just by pressing click, and then you go into the old world, you're like, what? It makes no sense. You're just like, what? I can't do it that way. This doesn't like. You're just like, it's like it shuts down the brain.
Totally. So and then the next day, like. Another Anderson Paak story, because I feel like we're in that circle through Shira, obviously. So what happens is like, okay, he's gonna throw like he has a label too. He actually has a label with Interscope.
Okay.
Anderson Paak
I knew there was something.
It's called Ape Shit, I believe, and he has a lot of artists in there.
Is there a star on the eye, or
I'm not sure. Like, and he has a few cool artists. One artist, the couple of, what is the name, JD and Domi or something, like those prodigy musicians, like a piano player and a drummer. These young kids are on his label, like they're like musical prodigies, and they're also in that scene blowing up. They're signed to Anderson Paak. So anyway, so it's happening all at the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Club or something. Like it's part of a hotel.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's basically.
We saw that movie together in New York.
Did we?
Yes, with Robert Downey Jr.
I can't remember.
Yeah, one of the few, because you don't go to movies that often in the. I never.
But this is then 2 years ago.
This is like 2005.
Even longer. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember really. I didn't. Yeah, but the name sounded familiar.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah. So it's a really cool club. It's like it has that whole 70s 80s feel. Like there's a dance floor with squares, like Studio 54 light up, and
everyone's doing everything so cool now. There's a lot of effort into stuff.
It's a vibe to it. It's a small place, like 200 people, and so it's a label party for his Grammy for his artists, to like a showcase.
And this is a different night now.
Different. It's now we're talking Friday now.
Friday night. Okay.
Next day.
You're just stalking Anderson Paak.
Yeah,
You're following him around town, different parties. It's like, hello, it's me again.
Hello. And then basically, but that was also a great musical moment. That's why I'm so like still on bliss, because I'm getting to see all these musical people and geniuses. So basically, what happens, like there's a showcase, but it's also his birthday party. So there's a stage with all the instruments set up, so it's gonna be good. Now here's the funny thing: like we go up there, you need to sort of register and check in. They say there's a line, like people lining up and stuff, and then all of a sudden, like someone whispers, like, "Hey, Anderson, like there's too many guys or whatever. Like we need to split up, let the girls in first." And so they're splitting up. Like couples come there together or groups, and they're splitting up the line between only females lined up here. Yeah, ex-couple, females lining up here, males here. And I was like the first guy. I was up to like I've waited already like 15 minutes just to get my band to get into the party. And then it's basically I'm the first guy, and they just split it up. And then all of a sudden, like I see 50 girls just walking past, all the guys just staying there. What the hell, because and all the girls just, if you're
you
girl,
let
come
your hair
here.
down and gone in the other line.
Exactly. And then just went in there, and then basically got out again, and we had to wait half an hour. Then thank God Shiro came, and then he's like, here they just walked us through.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, what they do, which I find is great, is like you got handed a little pouch, they locked off your phone because they didn't want anyone, I guess, to
take. Like a Yonder pouch.
Yeah, like it was like some sort of security pouch. And then they lock it up, and you can't unlock it yourself.
Yeah, but you get to keep it.
You get to keep it. Exactly.
Your security blanket.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have your phone in your pouch, you put it away. I love that.
Yeah.
So basically, what it does, like I've seen it's like a couple years ago, but I've sort of forgot about it. Like
they do it at comedy, like Dave Chappelle does it. And
I guess it's a thing. I guess for me, it was like, okay, that's cool. I sort of was smuggling in my phone because
you have two phones.
And
you kept one on the...
No, like Joplin and Super, where we both got him in because we went through with Shiro, because Shiro needed his phone, blah, blah. So anyways, we had our phone, but I was not, like, I couldn't get it out because, like, it would have felt weird because, like, no one had a phone in there.
Right, it's a social agreement.
Yeah, it's a social agreement. Like and I was, like, scared that they should take it away or something and get kicked out of the party.
The Asian guy with his phone.
Exactly. And then, so what it does, like, no one basically stares at their phone. No one takes pictures of. Everyone can let loose because you stay in the moment. There is, although there's like old school parties, there's professional photographers in there, so capturing moments, of course, for Anderson Paak and his team and everything. But it was a cool vibe because you had to actually talk to people.
You had to be in the moment.
You had to be in the moment. Yeah.
Your digital life takes a pause.
Yeah. So it was fantastic. Yeah. So that's why I don't have pictures of that night. You just have to trust my word for it.
Trust that you were there. Yeah.
So basically, it started, and then he had a few showcases from two of his artists, and then Maurice Brown, the trumpet player, came on again, and then of course at some point the jam session, and then it was called Olympics, like Olympics, but Olympics. That's why everyone was a costume party too. I didn't get the memo, obviously.
Okay, but you're dressed up enough, or they probably.
I guess, But then people came there in tennis suits.
Oh, they're in like Olympics.
Olympics, yeah. Okay. So it's not Olympics; it's Olympics.
Olympics.
Yeah, and he came up dressed in a fencing gear.
What would you have gone of now?
I don't know. Probably, I guess like a. Yeah, I would have dressed up like a karate fighter or something on brand.
Karate man. Karate you're there. You were dressed up. You're a sensei.
Like I'm a sensei. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So so everyone was dressed up crazy, like really funny. And then he himself, Anderson Paak, was dressed up. He had like 4 outfit changes. Like he was dressed up as NBA player with a wig. Then he was dressed as a fencing guy. Then he was dressed up as a acrobatics guy. Like it was crazy. And then this jam session started. And then I also got to meet Jose, the guitar player from his band, from Free Nationals. Like Anderson Paak's band is one of the best bands out there. Like if you haven't seen the NPR Tiny Desk of Anderson Paak, go watch it. Right? I mean, I think it has 60 million views or something. It's like one of the greatest bands and musical performance.
I'll watch it today.
Yeah, so his whole band was there, like, and then they all got on stage, and then of course to top it off, who shows up? Thundercat. And like arguably one of the best bass players and like great musicians on this planet now. Yeah. And then he's like he played with Mac Miller, he played with everyone, right? So and now I think I just saw him playing with Steve Lacy at the Grammy performance.
Yeah. Chris Rock uses his music as intro music for his Tambourine
he's
special.
The man. Like these are all guys that sort of come from. I feel like they're the new generation of being jazz guys, but also hip hop guys, and and it's so
like
intermixing musicians.
Yeah, talented musicians.
They're just cool now, you know. They're not like I'm elitist in a jazz bubble. They listen to hip hop. It's all one vibe, you know.
Right.
I love that.
It's almost like they're taking in the entire world.
Exactly.
They're plugged in
and they're channeling it through their skin. They can play just basic funk stuff, but they can just jazz out wildly too. Like it has a 6-string bass and stuff. He's crazy.
This episode is going to be called Anderson Paak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it should be. And then basically he comes out, then he plays his hit song, Them Changes, of course. And people sing along, people freak out, and it's just like, and then he plays another tune. Then there's a vocoder, like a talkbox guy,
like Teddy Riley.
Yeah, Teddy Riley with the
talkbox.
The talkbox.
Those are hard to use.
Yeah, so hard to use. Like it's all Roger Troutman, the Teddy Riley, and now
that's like that
guy.
Sound that's in like Dr. Dre's California,
exactly,
or like any Blackstreet song.
Yeah, so that's really hard to, because it's like the sound is coming through a tube. You sort of
your throat. Yeah.
From your throat, you're voicing, you're shaping the envelope of the sound with your mouth, and it's kind of tiring and loud in your. It's a physical thing. So he's killing it, and then it just gets better and better. Like it reminded me, it's probably one of the top 3, top 5 musical moments I've experienced in my life.
Whoa.
Yeah. So one other being like, obviously I saw D'Angelo 20 years ago at his peak in a small ass club. I saw Erykah Badu in the Roots and so. And of course I come from R&B, hip hop. So I also, now I do more electronic music, obviously, and house and techno. But just that love for that music.
Yeah, the history. We have a lot of history in that genre too.
That genre, yeah. So that was definitely a moment. And then to top it off, like it all fades into like I look to the left, and all of a sudden Kate Tronada, which is now also one of the hottest house funk. So he just did records with her, like he's his own artist, starts spinning, and sort of the after hour like party DJ set, you know. And people freak out even more, you know, because now it becomes more high energy. It gets a little housey, 110, 115 BPM, and just the party just goes wild.
Yeah. Wow.
And then it also has to stop at 2. Like, of course, because it's a hotel. Then they sort of go to 2:30. Lights come on. Everyone's hustling around. At this time, everyone's sort of really in a good vibe, in a good mood. Okay, it's always the question: where does everyone go? And then, of course, like. Same thing again. Shiro's like, okay, go here. We have to go here. And this door. And then everyone's cramming through this door. There's huge bouncers. Then there's all this drama.
But you left to go to a new place?
Yeah. But it wasn't actually a new place. We left to go through a secret thing to the hotel, actually, to the hotel lobby. Because the club is part of a hotel.
Right.
And that the hotel was sort of like off limits. You couldn't really go there because of the show party and stuff. And then, of course, to cut a longer story short, like, there's some drama in the hotel lobby. Anderson Paak is wilding out, running through the lobby and doing funny stuff, you know, like just being himself,
an artist,
like being an artist and being so funny. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, it's the 3rd floor. That's the party. Like, that's where everyone goes. But then you can't just go into the elevator. And they're like, you need the key card.
Yeah. Which hotel is this?
I think it's called The Line or something. I'm not sure. It's wherever the Kiss
The Line Hotel. Okay,
that
sounds like something.
I don't know. It's close to. It's in some sort. It's a little bit Koreatown. I feel like, which is on point because Anderson Paak is half Korean, right? And basically, so then we go. I sort of end up in the 11th floor. Wrong
is that
party.
why Paak?
Yeah,
because he's Korean.
Yeah, I guess that's his middle name, and that's because
that's a big Korean name.
No, Park is a big Korean name, but Paak, I'm not even sure.
Maybe he took out the R.
Maybe, yeah, but no, Park is, I know 10 parks.
Yeah.
But Park,
Jane
I'm not
Park.
sure. Yeah. So, and then we end up at some room, and then it's like a karaoke party in there, like people singing karaoke songs, and it's this big mess in this room. But then it got a little bit too hectic and too busy, and it was just too crowded also. And it's so funny, like people walk in like, is this the Corona party? Like the air feels a little crusty in here. So, so I'm like, okay, yeah, you're actually right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And then so we got out, and that was the night. But now we're talking also 4 a.m. again, at least.
Right. So this is a whole week of 4 a.m. for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the Friday. And then let me
why don't we do Saturday and the next one next week? Because we
that's what I mean. Like this is a
2-parter.
Yeah, and then so this was the. Who else did we meet? Like then we met some. Yeah, at the Orchard party, we of course there's some dance labels too that we met, like a guy from Ultra Music.
Yeah,
they do the Ultra Festival and all that. So. It's been a lot of like to sum up that first Grammy sort of episode in a way, like if you had told me hanging out with Anderson Paak, I didn't know all this by like I knew this like a day before, like we're gonna go there and meet this.
Because you told me you're going out and doing these parties. This sounds like it was better than you could have ever imagined.
Yeah, way more crazy.
And also a lot of these things can be busts historically. Like you go in, I think they're making them more fun. They used to be kind of stiff and like you're just meeting like mid-level people from the labels and the publishers.
I guess, but I think
there's like a takeover of making everything an experience.
Yeah, but the key thing was really, I think wherever Anderson Paak and his posse shows up, it's just like, that's where the party's at.
Right.
And I feel like I didn't go there on the Sunday night because it just didn't happen. But he played, I believe, the after party for Trevor Noah, also the host of the Grammy.
The Grammy after party.
So everyone's chasing him to play his after
He's
party.
Like, he is the party.
He's the party. And it's so smart to sort of, because as a DJ, he just rocks up with a little bit of vinyl. There's no big production, and he runs the show himself.
You don't have to do your catalog of songs. Exactly, you can just have fun.
Yeah, you just have fun. And you can do some of your own songs, but
and
you
if
don't
you do
have
it, it's
to.
a treat.
It's a treat, exactly. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's doing Calm Down now, you know. And so it's so clever, whoever came up with it. Like
he did, I'm sure.
He did, or probably Shiro, who knows? Like, and basically, it's.
Does Shiro work with him?
Yeah, they work together.
Okay.
And basically, so it's a thing. And when he told me, he's DJing, now I'm like, what? And now I know, like, he's probably the hottest party DJ on the planet right now, because it's like
huge
you get
fee,
best of both.
He's just making a year's worth of dough, and in 3 days and killing it, and making and spreading love and joy and happiness.
And through music,
dancing and. Because who doesn't want to go to a party where there's a great vibe and everyone's
everyone did the electric slide thing, like so I need to
you gotta learn it.
I gotta learn now because I felt left out.
You're in electric slide classes.
So
you mean it's not big in Germany?
No, it's not.
Of course it's not.
Of course it's not. Yeah, there's no black people. So that was a vibe. Like, and now Rogers rings. And then we also met this other cool girl. Like her name is Yasi, and she was like. She was talking to Joplin, and then it turns out she has like 10 million followers. She's this big star from the Philippines. She's like half Filipino, and she's the girl that introduced me to the Five Movement guys. And so it's like, it's also like for me, it was a meeting a lot of, like, Shiro's also half Asian, you know. So meeting Anderson Paak, for that matter, is half Asian. Right? So meeting a lot of Asians, half Asians, people who are in the culture doing cool stuff in a way is really inspiring for me, because like that's what I always dreamt about, as like like, and to be like, okay, I want to be in that mix, you know. And it's happening now. It took a while, like I feel like the last 10-20 years at least, but it's definitely happening, and it's for me at least, it's a personal culture.
It's nice to see someone else. I met like the 5 Moroccans in music, like Red and all his crew. And
I was think like, representation is everything.
It felt good. You're like, oh, you just kind of look at your hand shape. You're like, what kind of similar?
And I mean, in a way, it sums it up. Like, music, it's good to be from different cultures, but music is the one universal language, and it's good to be different, to have different experience, but then to come together and jam and play for it, and then exchange, and then create something even bigger, you know. I think that's the beauty of music, and that's the beauty of all these things coming together for this music episode here.
and the beauty of a great ep we just did.
Yeah.
There's some more stories we'll hitch into it next week. It sounds like there's a whole spreadsheet of different timelines. It's a lot of Anderson Paak, but I think this is a great episode. I'll have some stuff we'll cover in our next one too about the last comedy bunker and the things that I went through. But this was this is the Anderson Paak app where I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But what you have to do is, if you enjoyed it, subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Let's get those numbers up. Follow us at Techno Hollywood Pod. Be part of the Techho Army. Follow me at Latif Tayor and at
Chi-Thanh Berlin.
Soon to be Larry and Tom. And good night.